The BRSCC BMW Compact Cup is brought to you by Nankang Tyres and Gas Shops.
Welcome to Cadwell Park for rounds 5 and 6 of the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. The series is really full, really busy, so much so they've had to split cars out into 3 races. So this is race 1, classes A and B, which includes the main championship contenders. Now last time out at Snetterton, Matt Parks, car 38, won one of the races. Looks like he could be in contention here again today, but how is he going to beat this man, reigning champion and winner of the other races at Brands Hatch and Snetterton, Steve Daly? What's really interesting is that the top 4 are only covered by half a second. This race could be anyone's. It's over to Andy McEwan to take you through the rest of the grid.
Yeah, thanks very much. And here is how they line up. They're Daly and Hunter on row 1, Matt Parks and Ben Huntley on row 2, with Tom Griffiths and Paul Hinston on the 3rd row. Then it's Liam McGillan, Mark Skeets, Alan Caulfield and Matt Flowers round out the top 10 ahead of Mikey Doble and Keith Towers on row number 6. Row 7 for Andrew Prince and Robert Marshall. Annie Butterworth makes her debut ahead of David Sharp. Then it's Brendan Murphy and Jim Barrett on row 9. Row 10 for Andrew Woodbine and Phil Adcock. And row 11 for Phil Sharp and Sam Carrington-Yates making a return to the series, but starts at the back with a 10-second delay to his start. The lights go out though, and the rest of the field gets underway, and Steve Daly looking to try and increase his championship lead at the head of the field, on board with Alan Caulfield as he dives up the inside of Tom Griffiths, taking onto the grass to complete the manoeuvre. Daly in the lead up towards turn number 1 for the first time. More with Towers now. It's the midfield battle here. Towers turning his way up through the top end of the field. That's Mikey Doble, I think, in front of us with the novice cross on his car, but it's Daly that leads the way. Hunter 2nd, 3rd for Parks, and then 4th place is Paul Hinson as they drop down Park Straight, which is anything but straight, and back up the other side of the hill, on board with Hunter in 2nd place. Now, his big rival thus far this season has been Ian Jones, and they are only 5 points apart in their fight for 2nd place in the championship, but Ian has been drawn in Group C, so he is actually in the other 2 races. Basically the way it works, everyone's been split into 3 groups, groups A, B and C. Each group races twice and they each race each other once, so there are 3 races, so that everyone gets 2 races in over the course of the weekend, or indeed over the course of the day. And everyone races each other at least once, so Ian Jones will go up against Owen Hunter a bit later on, but not in this race. For now though, Owen is well and truly keeping race leader Steve Daly honest as they make their way in towards the mountain section once more. Matt Parks, the standout performer from Snetterton last time out, where he took that sensational first ever victory, is running in 3rd position. They make their way back over the hill now towards the right-left flip-flop sequence of corners at the Hall Bends. There's Alan Caulfield with Tom Griffiths behind. Car number 3 is Matt Flowers, turning his way through the Hall Bends. Dean tweaks Stein on the back of his car. Top 3 back around to the end of lap number 1. They're absolutely together. On board with Brendan Murphy now a bit further back as we turn our way in towards the final corner. Oh, and sideways in front of us. There's a car. Murphy sideways as well. Oh no! Both into the tyre. What on earth happened there? Brendan Murphy was trying to avoid, I think, Annie Butterworth, who was having a big spin in front. Annie, one of the Scottish drivers who made the trip down this weekend. Annie got sideways and well, I'm not quite sure what happened to Brendan Murphy, but he seemed to just lose it in sympathy. We might see a replay of that in a moment, but for the time being, it's all very bizarre indeed. Hopefully a replay may shed some light on what happened. Leaders up towards Park Corner though, and Owen Hunter is not giving Stephen Daly any breathing room here. The Scotsman is having to really defend hard from Owen, who is 2nd place in the championship. Here's a replay though, well, there goes Butterworth, and there goes Murphy, exit stage left, but what actually led up to that? That was very strange. Hopefully we'll get to see the on-board footage again. Both cars, those rectile barriers doing their job, not really damaging the car. So there goes Butterworth. It just looks as though Murphy lost it on the same bit of maybe damp tarmac as Annie did. It has rained overnight. You can see all the water that comes flying out of the recticel foam barriers there. On board with Marshall, who was running in behind Murphy. And Yeah, I don't think that was in sympathy, actually. I think they both caught a damp bit of road, and on cold tyres, around they went. But Annie was able to go in backwards, whereas Brendan Murphy ended up going in head first. The rector-cell barriers, though, designed so as not to do too much damage to the car, so both of them should be able to rejoin. As the leading trio make their way down towards that part of the circuit now, and Owen Hunter still right with Stephen Daly as they turn through the hairpin and into Barn Corner. Wave yellows out, actually, so maybe they both haven't been able to get going again. There's Murphy's car, so Annie was able to continue, but Brendan not so fortunate. Leaders back along the start-finish line, they're on board with Owen Hunter. We can see the slipstream starting to take effect there as he closes in now on Stephen Daly down the pit straight. Matt Parks is not far back either, though, third. Then it's Paul Hinson fourth, Ben fifth, Mark Skeets in sixth. They're leading the next group of cars. These three really putting away at the head of the field. Through the right-hander there, Owen Hunter all out of shape. Looks to the inside into the second part of Charlie's. Door is slammed in his face by Stephen Daly, having absolutely none of that. The trouble is that when you go in on a tight line into that second part of Charlie's, it really hurts your speed out of the corner and up the hill. But because these cars are brick-shaped and they put such a big hole in the air, the slipstream does quite a lot of work to save you, and so Owen Hunter actually able to regain momentum fairly well up the next hill. Slithers and slides his way through this long right-hander now, Chris Curve, back on board with Owen. 47 car running in second place in the championship as well. As I said, Matt Park incidentally after his win last time out at Snetterton is joint third with Ian Jones, as Daly really has to defend down into the bottom of the hill there at Mansfield, and Owen goes the wide way in, trying to carry a bit more speed out to the corner, which he does, and he gets himself alongside Steve Daly. It's the wrong side of the road down towards the mountain though. Is he brave enough to go around the outside of the left-hander to get the inside for the right-hander? Daly locks on the brake on the inside. They're both going to go straight on if they're not too careful. Oh, Hunter's on the grass, rejoins, still side by side with Stephen Daly. Fantastic racing, but he's lost all of his momentum, and Matt Parks is on the inside of him. They almost come together in the Hall bends, and in the end nothing changes. They're still in the same order. Let's all just pretend that never happened, but that all got very, very close going down into the mountain. We've got yellow flags out. Why do we have yellow flags out? There's a slowish car in the distance, which I believe has just rejoined from a grassy moment. That is, I'm not sure, it's one of the white cars running in that next group, possibly Carrington Yates, possibly the 29 of Andrew Prince, and that's Liam McGill getting all out of shape through Barn, gathers it together luckily, but that will lose momentum onto the pit straight, halfway around the lap, and these are the leaders, and they're still tied together by the shortest piece of string imaginable. Nothing to choose between Owen Hunter and Stephen Daly, and there might be a gap on the inside there for Hunter. Yes, there is! Owen Hunter goes for the race lead down towards the gooseneck, and he might have made it stick this time. Has he? Can he turn in? Yes! Into the race lead goes Owen Hunter, looking for his first win of the season, and finally, after about 14 minutes or so of trying, he's prized the door open and got the lead away from Stephen Daly. Now, can he hang on? That's the big question, because Stephen will try and come back at him if at all possible, because there's a championship on the line between these two. Big lock up for Hunter. Oh, contact in fact, look at that. Daly gets into the back of Owen Hunter, and it's damaged the front of Daly's car, but I'm worried that it's dislodged the exhaust on Owen Hunter's car. Let's have a look as they come. Yes, look at that, the exhaust is dragging on the ground for Owen Hunter's car in the lead of the race, but, well, he won't worry too much about that at the moment. As long as it doesn't fall off altogether, he will continue to go, but is that going to affect the performance of the car? We've still got one more lap to go, I believe, after this one, and Stephen Daly could very well come back at him if at all possible. Onto the pit straight. This is the first chance we'll get to see whether that's affected the straight line performance of Owen Hunter's car. Across the line they go, waves and cheers of encouragement from the pit wall as we start the final lap of what has been a sensational fifth round of the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup of 2018. And can Owen Hunter do it? Can he bring a battle-scarred car home onto the top step of the podium? Of course, Stephen Daly's car doesn't look particularly pretty at the moment, but that bodywork damage at the front of the car won't have the potential to affect his performance that a damaged exhaust will have on Owen Hunter. Daly getting the inside down towards Park. No, he can't, and so it is going to be difficult for him to find a way throughout the rest of the lap, although Owen Hunter managed to do it through Chris Curve last time out. Here's Robert Marshall trying to duck and dive and gain one more position as he makes his way up towards the first corner of Compass. There's no sign of David Sharp anymore, so I suspect that David has fallen behind us. These are the leading two down into Mansfield, and Owen Hunter just needs to keep it on the island, bring it home for a first race victory, and a really important one as far as the championship is concerned as well, because he, as I said, arrived here second in the points. Another big lock up there for Stephen Daly. But and I don't think he's going to be able to make a move stick now through this last sequence of corners. If Owen Hunter can win this race, he will take 3 points out of Stephen Daly, although Stephen set the fastest lap, which is worth 1 point, so he'll take 2 points out of Daly if he can hang on, and he's only got 1 more corner to go to try and hang on to the race lead, which I think he might be able to do. Out of the final turn we come, the run towards the checkered flag, and Owen Hunter, after a sensational race-long duel with Stephen Daly, wins for the first time in 2018. Daly comes home second, and Owen Hunter is very happy with that one. Third place will go the way of Matt Parks, and this is some of the battling going on further back. Mikey Doble there doing battle with several of the drivers coming towards the line, but Hunter wins it from Daly second, Parks third, Liam McGill fourth, and Paul Hinton fifth. Tom Griffiths is sixth, then Mark Skeets, Alan Caulfield, Mikey Doble, and Sam Carrington-Yates, who gained 13 places to 10th. Then it's Matt Flowers, Keith Towers, Andrew Prince, Robert Marshall and David Sharp, then Jim Barrett, Phil Adcock, Andrew Woodbine, Phil Sharp and Andy Butterworth. Rounding out the finishes, Ben Huntley was a retirement after colliding with the stationary car of the already retired Brendan Murphy.
Owen, long time since we've seen you on the top step of the podium. Congratulations on your win, tough race.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a long time since 2015, since my last win, so yeah, it's a long time coming, but I think we deserved it. I'd just like to thank XDR Motors, Raw Motorsport and Trade Price Cars for all their help getting me here and giving me the car that I needed to win.
Steve, tough race, but congratulations on second place.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very tough race. Owen pushed me from the start, but to be honest, I was looking in my mirror and I knew that he was going to be very tough to hold off for the whole race. So, I mean, we just had to take every lap as it came, and Owen's opportunity came up at some point, and he managed to just nip the win. So, I mean, chuffed to bits for Owen to be back up here. It's been a long time coming for him, and I'm glad he's done it now.
You join me in the holding area as the cars are getting ready to go out for the second race in the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. Owen Hunter, race winner earlier on in Class B, is on pole position for this B and C race, and if he wins, that will really put the pressure on Steve Daly in the later race. It's over to Andy McEwan to take you through the rest of the grid.
Thanks very much, Lloyd. Yes, it will. Here's Owen Hunter and Ian Jones on the front row of the grid for this one. Ben Huntley and Gordon McMillan on row 2, and Paul Hinton and David May on row 3. Row 4 for Mark Skeets and Mikey Doble. Row 5, Matt Flowers and Craig Jameson. And row 6 for Keith Towers and Tim Scott Andrews. Row 6 for Rob Marshall and Aaron Morgan. Then it's Jim Barrett and Martin Gadsby with David Sharp and Simon Welch on the 9th row together. Then outside towards the back end of the top 20, Phil Adcock and Nick Edmond, with Sam Carrington-Yates out again once more with a 10-second delay to his race. So the red lights go on, and for the second time this weekend for Group B, they are in action. The first time for Group C, and it's not a great start from the pole position there for Owen Hunter. Whoops, bit of contact further back there. I think that was the 76 machine getting bashed around this way and that of Simon Welch, but they're all getting towards turn 1 safely for the first time. On board with Robert Marshall as they go up through the first corners, and he slots in line just behind a few of the cars in the midfield, but it will be Jones that leads the way. Owen Hunter though gets a much better exit out of Charlie's, gets himself alongside. He wants a double race victory, doesn't he, to really apply the pressure to Stephen Daly in the championship. He's already done that by beating him in race 1. If he can win race 2, then Stephen will have to win race 3 to have any chance of limiting the damage done points-wise. So Hunter takes the lead, Jones second, Huntley third, David May fourth, Paul Hinton fifth, and Gordon McMillan in 6th position. Mark Skeets there in 7th. On board again with Robert Marshall, as that's Tim Scott Andrews in front of us in the multicoloured number 63 car. Dropping down the hill, Ian Jones, all 4 wheels on the grass. That could give Huntley a chance up the inside into Mansfield. Not quite, because he has got David May attacking him. Now, Ben Huntley, remember, was on course, potentially, for his best finish of the year so far in race 1. Then he had a moment at Barn Corner, slid wide and collected the stationary car of Brendan Murphy that was parked at the side of the road, breaking his rear suspension. Well, Huntley's got the car fixed for race 2 and really wants to try and improve upon the 8th place finish that was his best result so far. So he's running 3rd at the moment. That would be his first podium of the season. Right-handed, there's almost been a contact there as David May been able to force the door open again on the inside into Chris Kerb. No, he hasn't. And McMillan, of course, is right there as well. They're running so close together. Doing really well not to make contact. David May looking up the inside towards the gooseneck. Has he been able to make this one stick? Oh, he's on the grass. David May on the grass. Oh, so too Ben Huntley on the grass as well. But David May will go through. So What on earth happened there? They disappeared frustratingly from our sight. May is sideways again down at the gooseneck, but that was spectacular rallycross accident. I didn't even know where Ben Huntley had gone. He just appeared from the right-hand side of the screen, bouncing and sliding his way across the grass. But David May has got third place. Huntley's coming back in there over the mountain, side by side up towards the hall bends. This won't work. Someone's going to have to give. Huntley on the inside, David May on the outside. Huntley goes through and retakes the position. And so David May loses out, and now he's got Gordon McMillan and Paul Hinson breathing down his neck. 2 more corners to go. McMillan up the inside into the hairpin. Can't do it there, surely. No, he can't. And so Ben Huntley tenaciously hangs on to this third position. Back out of the final corner they go, down towards the end of the lap. And we are going to get one more lap out of this one, I think, then. So, beg your pardon, it wasn't the final lap last time around. This will be the final lap. And is Ben Huntley going to be able to hang on to this third place? We've treated some cracking racing this weekend here at Cadwell Park, and just goes to show you don't need the wide open spaces of a Silverstone or a Donington Park to produce good racing. If you've got a field of closely evenly matched cars, evenly matched drivers, you can take them to any circuit in the world and they will produce a good show. And that is what we're seeing here from the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. Miller now having a look at the inside of David May into Park Corner. Still just can't find a way through. Can Gordon in the 35 car. Now here we go again though. David May seems to have a good run out of Chris Curve every time, doesn't he? Seems able to attack down into the gooseneck. I'll tell you what, we might even get one more lap out of this one, because I'd forgotten just how far up the road Owen Hunter had escaped, and yeah, I think we will probably get round to do one more lap as well. Oh, contact! That's Jim Barrett off with David Sharp, and they're both going to come straight back across the road, and the barrier beckons. Oh, yes, just about for Jim Barrett. Jim Barrett and David Sharp, they made contact there coming up to the top of the park straight, which, as we've said, is not straight at all. It's very easy to just lean on each other and get a bit close for comfort. And that is what happened there, sadly. So both of them, well, it certainly looks like Barrett might be out of the race, like David Sharp was trying to rejoin. Down towards the start-finish line, and to the checkered flag does indeed come Owen Hunter, so they throw the checkered flag a little bit early, and Owen Hunter it is who takes the victory in race number 2 of the weekend. Ian Jones second, third for Ben Huntley, and fourth for Gordon McMillan after David May had a last lap off. Paul Hinson is fifth, then it's Mark Skeets, Mike Doble, Craig Jameson, Matt Flowers, and Rob Marshall rounds out the top 10. Then it's Carrington Yates up to 11th, Keith Towers 12th, Tim Scott Andrews 13th, and David May dropped all the way down to 14th. After that last lap drama. Aaron Morgan, our only retirement after what was another sensational race.
Owen, well done, 2 from 2. Puts a little bit of pressure on Steve for the final race for today though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Steve's going to rise up to it. He's champion for a reason. But yeah, fantastic day. Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't hope for much more.
Owen, who won it, he's on fire today, drove perfect. He didn't quite get a good start, but he gathered it instantly, got me and just edged away. So it's quite a lonely race, to be honest.
Ben, well done on your podium placing. It's been tough racing here at Cadwell Park though, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is a really balls out circuit. It's up, down, there's highs and lows, and we've been through all of it today. I can't believe, really. I'm actually quite speechless, really. I'm over the moon.
The cars are lining up, ready to go out onto the grid for the final race of the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. This race sees groups A and C racing together, and Stephen Daly on pole position looks certain for the win. But Ian Jones and Matt Parks behind are going to be really close. It's over to Andy McEwan to take you through the rest of the grid.
Yeah, thanks very much, Lloyd. Here's how they line up then. Daly and Jones on row 1 with Matt Parks and Gordon McMillan on row 2. Tom Griffiths and David May make up the third row of the grid. Then it's Liam McGillen, Mike Doble, Alan Caulfield and Craig Jameson, with Mikey Doble and Tim Scott Andrews rounding out the top dozen. Row 7 for Andrew Prince and Aaron Morgan. Row 8, Andy Butterworth and Martin Gadsby. And row 9 for Brendan Murphy and Nick Edmond. Then at the back of the grid, Andrew Woodbine, Simon Welch and Phil Sharp round out the 21 cars. So, Owen Hunter has amassed a total of 284 points up to this point of the season, but he is not out in this race. Stephen Daly is out for the second time though and starts from pole position, and he gets the lead down towards the first corner fairly comfortably there. Simon Welch getting boxed in further down the order, but that means that basically 36 points is the target for this race for Steve Daly if he wants to hang on to the championship lead. McMillan there getting squeezed onto the grass on the run towards turn number 1. more with Simon Welch. That's Andrew Woodbine in front of us in the car that very nearly won last year's championship and did win the 2016 championship in the hands of James Gornall, running in front. James has gone off to do other things this year. And, things racing in the mini challenge. And best of luck to him. He was a fierce competitor in the Compact Cup. But it's good to see that there are plenty of other fierce competitors out there as well. Tom Griffiths, one of them, as he tried to go to the inside of David May there. Couldn't quite make it work into Park Corner. Simon Welch will back on board with here though as he chases down Andrew Woodbine. Well, yes, there is Stephen Daly then. Jones in second place, Parks third, May fourth, and Griffiths fifth. And so, yeah, Stephen Daly after race one was on 248 points, which is 36 less than Owen Hunter is on. But of course, Owen Hunter's done an extra race. Owen sits this one out. Stephen therefore gets a chance to take some points back, and it should all equal itself out over the course of the day. That's how this split grid format works, basically. Although there is an extra race, everyone still only races twice. It's just they're not always racing with each other. This time around though, Daly, Scotty and Jones and Matt Parks, as Lloyd was saying before the race, to contend with, and they're both very quick. Matt Parks a race winner already this year, Ian Jones a winner in the past. Next Tom Griffiths, looking for his first ever win in the championship, running in 5th place ahead of Liam McGill and Gordon McMillan 6th and 7th. Drop their way down towards Barn Corner for the first time of asking. Alan Caulfield not far back, either having a decent run inside the top 10. The purple and white car just there as they head out of the final turn and back along the pit straight, and side by side potentially there between McMillan and McGill. McMillan on the inside line in towards turn number 1. And Parks though, findmycar.co.uk sponsored car, heads through, and the leader sees the last lap board. So we will have one more lap to go, and Stephen Daly is leading the way fairly handsomely in this one. He looks good for a race victory. It would be his 4th race victory of the year, but he's not had it all his own way this weekend. And the championship margin is going to come down because Owen Hunter, as well as winning the last race, also set the fastest lap, so he took 3 points out of Daly essentially in that one. So the gap is definitely coming down. It was 17 points coming into the weekend. This win for Stephen Daly put him just 14 points ahead. 15 points ahead going into the next rounds of the championship. And down towards the right left of the gooseneck that comes for the final time, and he'll be enjoying this final lap around Cadwell Park. Does not look like he's going to be headed in this one, and this has been a much more Stephen Daly-esque performance. It's worth saying though that if Owen Hunter had been in this race, I don't think he would have had it his own way. We commented at the start of the season that even if Daly ran away with it, at least Owen Hunter and Ian Jones would give us something to get excited about. Well, Owen seems to have taken a further step up since then. So although it's Daly that's going to win this race, it is Hunter who will have scored more points this weekend. So the championship situation continues to twist and turn, and I think it will do right the way down to the final rounds of the championship. So into the final couple of corners comes Stephen Daly, the final lap of racing here at Cadwell Park for the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup, excuse me. And Stephen Daly is going to take win number 4 of 2018. He comes out to the final corner, he sees the checkered flag, and he wins race number 3 here at Cadwell Park. Stephen Daly victorious. Second place will go to Ian Jones. He flashes the hazard lights in celebration. Confirmation of the result then. Stephen Daly wins from Ian Jones in second, Matt Parks third, David May fourth, and Tom Griffiths fifth. Then it's Liam McGill, Gordon McMillan, Mike Doble, Craig Jameson, and Mikey Doble rounds out the top 10. Then it's Andrew Prince and Annie Butterworth 12th this time, ahead of Tim Scott Andrews and Martin Gadsby. Then Nick Edmonds, Simon Welch, Brendan Murphy, Phil Sharp, and Andrew Woodbine round out the finishers. We lost Alan Caulfield, and we also lost Aaron Morgan.
Stephen, congratulations on your win. It's been a good weekend for you.
Yeah, fantastic weekend. Pole this morning, got second in race 1 with Owen Hunter winning that. Owen drove fantastic, so I'm quite happy with finishing second there. I felt I had something to prove in that second race to myself because I knew I had the pace to win the first race, so I mean I had to go out there and just do it, so I'm quite happy with the way I performed myself there, so I'm quite happy.
That was another tough fought race, but congratulations on your second place.
Yep, second again, leader got away, but had a good tussle with Matt Parks at the end. He almost had me. I think one more lap, I'd have been in a lot of trouble.
Well, that wraps up the action here at Cadwell Park, where Stephen Daly extends his lead in the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. Hopefully you can join us next time where the racing action takes place in Castle Coombe.